saying. Really haven't done much Titan content recently. I know. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Lou. Contrary to popular belief, it's not Joe. It's a play on words. But today we are going to start working on the Titan again. It's been a while, and reason being is I just haven't had time to do anything. So, thought a really great spot to start would be installing the trailer brake controller that I've wanted to install in that truck for a while. I'm going to have to be doing some towing here in the near future. That's going to require an electric trailer brake controller. And that truck doesn't come with one. So there is an option from the factory to get one, and it's like $300 if you buy it aftermarket and install it yourself. Well, that's lunacy. I would never pay that much for a trailer brake controller that honestly doesn't do that much for me. My other option is I can go ahead and I can get one of those ones that you knock your knees on every time you get in the truck that sits down low next to the steering column. And I don't like that either. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know it's there until I need to use it. My wife's Ford Expedition, it's great. It's all integrated, works perfectly. I only know it's there when I actually need to use it. So lots of options out there, but which one did I go with? And today, if you watched the beginning of the video, you saw the Redarc TowPro Liberty, the red box. Make another version of this, which is a little bit swankier, which will do 3 axles. That's the TowPro Elite, and I don't need that. So most of the functions of them are the same, but this is only good for 2 axles. And why I chose this is because when it's all said and done and it's installed, you'll never see this part. It's going to be under the dash, zip tied out of the way. This little button here, let me zoom in real quick. Yeah, there we go. Is all you're going to see. They do a really good job at minimizing the integration into your vehicle as far as factory versus something aftermarket. So that's why I chose it, and it looks like it's pretty easy to install. It shouldn't take me very long. I've kind of pre-scouted out a spot for it, and I've changed my mind like 100 times. But again, I don't want to know it's there, so the spot that I've chosen, well, it's based on me not having to look at it all the time. And so I think in a minute we'll show that to you, but it's going to sit down low by my left leg on the left side of the steering column out of the way. There's plenty of blank buttons, but that's the idea, is that this button here for this system is so small that it should fit in one of those blank knockout covers in almost any vehicle out there, or anywhere else you can think about putting it in. So that's the hope anyway, and I think it'll look pretty good. The other thing that Redarc does is it makes a adapter wiring harness. So this plugs into the box, and then this plugs into the factory trailer brake wiring, because that truck, I'm pointing to it like you can see it, but you can't because it's behind you, has a pigtail right underneath the dash that you can plug this into. This plugs into the box, and then this is basically a Cat 5 or Cat 5e network cable that plugs into the back of the button, and you can run that wherever you want. And again, all you're going to see is this cool little knob here, and my understanding of it is that it has some different LED colors. X is a push button, and this is how you modulate your trailer brake gain from 1 to 10. So we'll see. One of the things that's missing from this, from my understanding, is anybody that's ever towed a trailer knows what it's like when you get trailer sway. So I was hauling a Bobcat not that long ago, and if those things, but anything really, on a tandem axle trailer or a single axle trailer aren't loaded quite right, you got a little bit too much weight aft of the rear axle, chances are it's going to start pulling up on your tongue. And what that'll do is not only does it take weight off the rear wheels, which, hey, guess what? You need weight over the rear wheels to get traction on the drive wheels if it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle, which most tow vehicles are, at least rear-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. But it'll also cause the trailer to pivot behind whatever the attachment point is, or they use a pintle or a standard receiver hitch, and it can get pretty deadly, especially at speeds that you would travel on a highway. And look it up on YouTube, shameless plug, and check out some of those videos. They're grotesque, seriously. And one of the things you can do with a standard trailer brake controller is, if you use that manual gain button, you can use that to modulate out some of that trailer sway and regain control. Some other things associated with that. Trust me, been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. Partly my fault, partly, it's all my fault. I loaded the thing wrong. So point being is, it can get really bad really quick. And I'm not really sure how that works with this, because it doesn't have that. I think you can push on it, but that's only going to give you gain instantaneously. There's no way, I don't know, who knows. But it's a rare occurrence that I even haul something quite that heavy. We were talking 10,000 plus pounds on a truck that was not rated for that, and that was not the Titan. Anyway, anecdotally, I could be here for days telling you stories, but you don't care about that. Let's get started on the install. Okay, everybody, please be gentle. Yeah, I know. There's sand in my truck. Do you want to know where I went to the beach? It was like 2 months ago, so I get it. I got to clean it out. The rest of it's actually not too bad. This is not my daily driver. I got a beater that I take to work every day, so hour drive. But I do drive this. I actually just got back from a trip, and I need to clean it out. But here's the location we're talking about. So I think that we're going to put that knob right there. Yeah, I could put it up here, but again, that's kind of in my face. I was thinking, hey, let's get in the driver's seat. That's not what I was thinking, but I was actually originally thinking about mounting it right there, because it's kind of, you know, right hand, go ahead and reach down. But yeah, I got this cell phone doodad that I just apparently can't live without, because it just keeps my cell phone in my face. I don't know why, but I like it there. And so I could put it there. Incidentally, if you look down here, this little dash pocket, that is where the factory trailer brake controller goes. So I probably would have been screwed either way and not happy. But that's not what we're going to do. So I think, looking at it, we're going to go ahead and again, we're going to put it right here, because then as I'm sitting here, yeah, I can just reach down and do what I need to do. Now, the only thing we should have to remove here, and I know this because I've done this like 100 times for other projects, is to remove this kick panel here. And really, it's not that hard. It's held in, if you've watched any of my other videos, it's held in with some retention clips up here that just pop out. Underneath, you got 2 screws. And then the other thing you got to be mindful of is the OBD2 port, and that just kind of pops out with these tabs. And then there is a retainer for the wiring harness. It's just one of those friction clips. If you really want to take that out, I probably won't. And then the other thing you got to do is make sure that you pop out the wiring connectors on the back of anything that you have accessory-wise. Obviously, there's different things that could be here. For example, for me, factory fog lights. By the way, I added those. That's all factory wiring, factory switch. The LED fog lights, or I should say driving lights, really. They're kind of expensive. They're like 150 bucks. This switch alone was like 35. But all the rest of the wiring's there. I didn't make a video on that. And then this is actually for those grill lights. It was part of a aftermarket fog light kit that I got just so I could get the trim bezels on the front of the vehicle. You know what they don't tell you? That doesn't come with it. So each one of those trim bezels, here, I'll tell you what, let me show you real quick. It's fun stuff. I haven't made a video in a while, so I got to get some of this out. These trim bezels, which by the way, they come chrome. They're a little dirty right now. But that is actually from a Win something. I don't know. It's some off-market brand I got off of Amazon on a warehouse deal for like $35, $40, because they come with incandescent, and it's some cheap Chinese brand that nothing ever really works perfectly. But these bezels and the scutcheon behind it, each one of those is like 80 bucks or more, sometimes up to $100 and some. So yeah, I bought a whole kit, threw the lights away, and kept the wiring harness. Well, I used the wiring harness when I wired up those grill lights in one of my previous videos, and I just hooked it to this switch, so in case I don't want to run the grill lights, off, on, off, on, off. No, I'm not flipping you guys off. I can do this all day. I'm a big button pusher. But again, that's not what you care about. So let's go ahead and we'll get this kick panel off, and we'll see what we're looking at behind there. Real quick, these are the clips I was talking about. Again, pressure fit. Just pull kind of right on this edge here. Just grab onto here, and the whole thing will pop right off. You got to do that on both sides. And then one thing I didn't mention to you guys, which we'll see in a minute when we drop this down, is we got to take this off. And this just sits, see if I can do this without screwing anything up. But this just sits in some mounts right here, and otherwise it just pops into the bottom. We slide that off. It actually wraps around one of those friction clips. Well, it works usually, but if you look, you can see those little slots it just mounts in, and then this comes right off, but it's kind of hanging from that right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and unplug all this junk, and then we'll get back to it. All right, this is why you scalp things out. because yeah, best laid plans. I could probably figure this out by cutting this crosshatch webbing back there out of the back of that cover. I'm not going to do that because that just seems like a lot of work. So, new plan. Remember those 3 switches we just talked about that I didn't want to mount it? Well, it's going to go right there in that blank one because, yeah, I didn't know it looked like that. So that's why you look at things before you start drilling holes and crap. Either way, here is the connector for the factory wiring. There's actually also a connector kind of right back behind here that will actually allow you to run it over to the factory trailer brake controller if you were to install it. Again, it's not exactly the same thing, but that's it right there. That's what we want to plug into. And here's the OBD2 port, and that is that little friction push-in fitting I was telling you about. That mounts right here. So you just pop that out. I just usually use a pair of side cutters lightly and pry up, and it pops out. And then there's just 2 tabs, one here and one here. You push in on them, the whole thing pops out. Very super simple. All right, guys, so here's our little blank insert. Put some tape on it so we don't scrape it up. Mark the center of it. You guys know if you mark corner to corner, corner to corner, that's the exact center of this thing, right? Of course you do. But with that said, we got to drill ourselves a 1/8 inch hole and a 3/8 inch hole. I'm also going to drill this out to 1/8 and then use the 3/8 bit to enlarge it. That way it's nice and centered. So get that done real quick, pop our button in the back, and we are damn near finished. All right, I didn't show this because, you know, I was elbow deep in this thing, but that's where I mounted the controller. Let me get these out of the way. Lou, what are you doing? There's just a dash support right there. Just zip tied it, and she's good to go. Connectors in the back, and it runs around that way towards the center console, and it just loops back around so it's out of the way, and I zip tied it to a wiring harness back there, and she's nice and secure. So I'm going to plug the end of that Cat 6 cable in, or Cat 5, or whatever the hell it is. That's where that'll go. And then I already popped it into the back of the switch doodad. It's a technical term. And that's what it looks like once it's in there. So pretty straightforward, right? Again, not where I wanted it, but screw it. It's going to work. So it's not that bad sitting here. You can't see it, can you? No. I can kind of see it. And there it is, right there. So let's give it a turn. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Let's start her up, see what happens. Not bad for a factory exhaust, I will say that much. Look, it still works. It's been great. That's right. Watch that video. You're gonna love it, I promise. If you don't, well, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so back over. Here it is. Ooh, I can hear something. Oh yeah, look. That's the momentary button. Look. And here are my controls. So it doesn't stay lit up all the time. So I was worried about nothing. Why did you guys not tell me this? So anyway, that's all we're gonna do for today, because I gotta go pick up my kids. And when I actually tow with this thing, we'll probably do a video while we're doing that. So that'll be pretty cool. And we'll give you an update then. But until now, I didn't have anything. So it's probably going to be, I don't know, a couple weeks before I actually have to do that. But I'm pretty stoked. So we'll give it a whirl. Hey, look, somebody's trying to text me. Look, that comes through too. Pretty cool. All right, let's shut this thing down. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've actually been holding back on a secret. So there's one more thing coming to the channel very soon. And I'm pretty excited about it because I've been talking about it for a while, at least planning on it. The very first video I made was about the lift kit that I installed on this thing. And I've been really wanting something ever since. What could that be? It's a mystery. That's the dog barking. There's Casey. Whoa, what is that? Those look like tires. Where did they come from? I think the FedEx ferry just dropped them off. So these are the Nitto Ridge Grapplers. And let's talk about it for a second, just real quick. Old, new, old, new. Those that have an eagle eye will note that that hole looks a little bigger than that hole. And it is. Why? Because the one thing that isn't here yet is the rims for that truck. That's right, I got new rims too. I'll tell you more about that when we actually get the video together. Those should be here in a couple days. These literally just arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago. They've been sitting in front of my garage. So really excited about that. Little nervous, hoping they're gonna fit right. They should. They are a little bigger, so this is a 33-inch tire. These are in the 32 range, so it's not much. It's like a ½ inch difference. But they are wider, and the back spacing on the rim that I got is different. So we'll see how it goes, but that's for another time. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm doing like the selfie thing here, but I really gotta go. I'm starting to run out of time here. In the meantime, thank you for watching. You stay classy, and I promise you, sooner than later, I'm gonna see you soon. You know what? I just realized something. You might have seen it on the box, but I didn't tell you where I got the thing. Yeah, I'm on my way to pick up my kids. You're going with me. So I got it at eTrailer.com, which I have ordered some stuff from them before, but nothing fancy. And yeah, pretty good so far. eTrailer.com, they had all the stuff. So they sold it as like kind of a package deal. I didn't have to worry about matching numbers for a wiring harness or anything like that. And it was like 150 bucks is plus or minus is what I paid. The TowPro Elite is more than that. It's like $225, $250. So for an extra axle, wasn't worth it to me. Anyway, check them out, eTrailer.com. Pretty painless, and they have a lot more stuff than just trailer brake controllers. Anything you can think of for towing and accessories and stuff like that, they got a fair amount of it, and they make it really easy. No, I am not sponsored by them. I am not sponsored by Redarc. Just decided to give it all a try. So this is all out of the kindness of my heart. Go ahead and check them out. And again, click like and subscribe. All those fun things that we always tell you to do. And I really do promise this time. Thank you, and I will see you later.